So, hello, I am Tiffany Gerwig, and I did my observations behind UAF on upper campus, or behind MBS on upper campus of UAF. I did my observations Tuesday through Saturday from 10 p.m. to 1 in the morning. I got my NWS data to compare it to from University of Alaska Fairbanks International Airport Radio, and there should be a picture of the map of my location, but it's not there. Here is one of my observation sheets, and here you can see my weekly temperature plot. You can see it lines up pretty decently to the NWS's data. So, my first day was Tuesday. I noticed the temperature on the right probe to be 28.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and on the left probe, I noticed it to be 27.2 Fahrenheit. 27.2 at 10 p.m. I didn't notice there would be any wind or any precipitation. And at 7:50, I noticed just a few clouds in the sky. Those clouds were mainly cirrus clouds. The second day, which is Wednesday, the left probe read 26.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and the right probe read 25.7 degrees Fahrenheit at 9:46 p.m. The clouds covered 1/4 of the sky, and they were cirrus clouds as well as a few contrails at 6:40 p.m. Again, I noticed no precipitation throughout the day, and I noticed no wind. I was walking out to check the weather. Day 3 was Thursday. This day I observed at 9:57 p.m. and my left probe read 31.5 degrees Fahrenheit, and my right probe read 30.7 degrees Fahrenheit. At 4:30, when I walked back to my dorm room, I noticed just a few contrail clouds in the sky, and that was definitely covering less than 1/4 of the sky. I also noticed no precipitation and no wind, no precipitation throughout the wind, and no precipitation throughout the day, and no wind at 10 p.m. Sorry about that. Okay, so day 4. This day was the closest time to 10 p.m. I could do it was 12:48. The temperature this time was 36 degrees Fahrenheit on my left, and my right probe read LLL when I got out there. I noticed my probe laying on the ground disconnected. I noticed that the tag had some animal chew marks in it, so I'm guessing that's what happened with the probe, unfortunately. But as far as the sky, it was relatively clear again that day. As I checked my station, there was 1/4 of the sky covered with thin cirrus clouds. And I didn't notice any wind or precipitation throughout that day, Friday. Saturday, I observed at 10:40 p.m. My left probe read 34.8 degrees Fahrenheit. My right probe read LLL. The sky was fully covered in clouds as I walked to check my observation station, and I believe the clouds to be stratus clouds because of their color and their shape, as well as the fact that it drizzled throughout the day. Again, I did not know any wind as I walked to my observation. Today there was some snow at around 9 in the morning, and I noticed some rain at 8:30 p.m. I noticed that it was fairly damp as I walked to check my station, and at 11 it was fairly damp, and at 1 a.m. there was already ice in the cracks in the sidewalk, and it was snowing in the air, but it was not staying on the ground. And this morning at 7:20, there was snow on the ground. It was melting quickly. Like when you stepped on it, it would melt, but it was there. As far as pressure, it went so much better this week than the other week, and here's the plot. but unfortunately I still had some issues getting started. I think I must have been reading it incorrectly again. But you can see day 3, day 4, and day 5, the pressure is pretty close to accurate. Had significantly higher numbers the first 2 days, as you can see, and there was a huge drop on Thursday. The first 2 are very similar, and the last ones were very similar. The last 3 records were accurate, with all within 7 degrees. So so here is Sunday's map. I'm located relatively here. You don't really see much around this area. Monday, not too much around this area. You can see high, high, low, but it's very far away. Tuesday, when I actually started my observation, you can see in this area that there's not a whole lot of clouds, which is exactly what I observed. There's no precipitation shown around there, which is exactly what I observed. You can see there's a high over here, a low over here, but those are a very long distance away. And there's the low and the isobar here, but again, very far away. Wednesday, the weather is getting closer. There's snow up here, but not directly in the area where I was at. I did not observe any precipitation throughout the day. Snow again there, the low here, and the low here, and the high are still there. And the isotherm has moved a little bit closer, but still a long ways from Fairbanks. Thursday looks a whole lot different. The clouds came in much more, which is not what I observed. There's snow around it again, but no snow close to it, which is exactly what I observed. And you can see these fronts getting closer. This day I observed a large pressure drop, and the temperature didn't do too much change. I can recall. And here Friday, it's cloudier, which I noticed it being cloudier, but not super cloudy. And then there's precipitation closer by. I did not notice any precipitation throughout Friday. It could have done precipitation when I was inside though. And you can see this occluded front, I think, or this front anyway, is right in there, getting really close to Fairbanks. And here, Saturday, you can see 2 low fronts near it. You can see much more clouds. I believe Fairbanks is kind of right in that low front, which would explain the precipitation that we had throughout the day. It doesn't show any precipitation, but I definitely saw precipitation on Saturday. And as far as Wednesday's maps here, the information I saw did reflect, or the information did reflect the clouds I saw, there being not so many clouds on Wednesday. And yes, the infrared showed the altitude distribution in the pressure systems that I observed. And the humidity that I saw was shown on the map here too. Kind of medium, not super, super, super dark or light. So as far as just a few observations, I was reminded of how much weather can affect your mood, and it sure seemed like it could have been May out there. And also, I was again amazed by how fast snow can melt when you get the right weather conditions. Thank you for watching.